This stuff literally changed my whole vibe. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't go without it.
That video was 100% AI generated. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how to build a full UGC pipeline from scratch. You'll be able to drop in your own products, your own characters, and create a full ad that looks like a real person has filmed it. So the first thing we're going to do is head over to Wireflow.ai, and this is the tool that we're going to be using to create this really cool UGC content. Basically what this platform does is it's a node-based flow builder. So you have different nodes in the flow that do different things. So you've got your nodes for creating text input, your nodes for concatenating all these different nodes together, and then you've got the ones for calling the specific APIs. So whether that's your image or your video APIs or just text APIs for the next node that uses that. So really, really cool platform. And the reason why I think this is better than going directly to the models is you can change things very easily. So you're building a process, a factory for this content, rather than having to go to the chat, forgetting context, getting different varied outputs that aren't always the best. So once you build this and it's working really well, you can just scale that up. So I find it really useful to create this content. So this is what it looks like once you log in. You've got a bunch of different templates that they've set up that you can pretty much click into, and the whole flow is there ready for you to use. Just add your images that you're using for your business, and off you go. They've got heaps of stuff. So AI influencers, car ads, photo shoots. The real estate stuff has really been popping off on TikTok and Instagram at the moment. These house transformation videos. So they've got a bunch of really cool stuff. In this video, I'm going to create this whole flow from scratch so you can adapt that to your specific use case, and you kind of know how everything sort of fits together. So we'll start by doing a new file. So the first thing that we need to do is use an import image node. And basically what this node does is it allows us to upload an image. So this will be the image that's used in that final UGC video. In this example, I've just grabbed a image of some perfume online, but you can use any image that your brand is promoting. Just a tip for that is if you can remove the background, so it works so much better without a background, you can use a tool like Canva, which does that really well. So the next thing that we need to add is the script. So this is what we want our characters to say in that final video. So I've got a example script here. This stuff literally changed my whole vibe. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't go without it. So I think here you want to be quite short, you want to be quite punchy, and you want it to be natural. So you don't want to be using sort of AI long generated stuff that it's not something that your character would actually say. But it's really easy to change this around at the end, and try different options. Super easy to change. So now that we have those two nodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group those together, so it's just a little bit easier later to see the different parts that are related to each other. So I'll group that selection with our group tool, and call it product, and save that. So now that we've got those two product inputs, we're going to do our characters next. And this is basically the character that you want in the video. So we need to create a prompt to actually create that character. So I've got a few different examples here that I'm going to use, but you can use whatever character works best for your brand. So in this case, probably women, sort of stylish women for this specific perfume. So we are going to use a few different examples here. I generated these with Claude. You can generate it with ChatGPT, Claude, whatever works for you. Or if you want to do this manually, you can go through and actually create these prompts. So in this one, we've got a 31-year-old woman with sleek dark hair pulled into a low bun, so on and so forth for that one. And then we have another one. Just copy this first. So this is more of a nightlife regular, sort of nightclub goer, as our second example. And that's our characters. So now that we've got our character input and we've got our product input, the next thing we need to do is combine these all together to create a really nice prompt for our video model in the final step. So firstly, we're going to use a prompt concatenator node, where our first connection, and to connect nodes, you just drag one to the next, pretty easy to do. So we're going to drag in our character description, and then we're going to drag in exactly what we want them to say, which is going to create this big long paragraph, the first part being that description and the second part being what we want them to say. And then the next step is adding a prompt formatter, which is going to help us organize this into a really nice prompt for the video model in the final step. And I've prepared this, but you can create your own or use the exact same one yourself. So what this looks like is a big prompt that is going to organize everything into a nice final prompt for our video model. So you're a Seed Dance 2 video format prompter. The first paragraph is a character description starting with a character name. The final sentence is the script line. Extract the character's description and script line, then output this exact prompt template with the values filled in. And we've got these values as placeholders down below. I'll leave this prompt in the comment section below so you can copy it straight in yourself as well. So now that we have those two, we're going to connect everything up into a run LLM node. So if we type in run any LLM, now we've got a few inputs here. The first one being our combine text node. The second one is our system prompt, which goes here at the bottom. Now our purple ones are expecting text and the green ones are for images and video. And we need our product image down below, which goes in image 1. Now we need to select a model to combine all this together. The one that I like to use is Gemini 3 Pro, which is all round really good. I'm going to tick reasoning. You can use whatever model here you want, but I think Gemini 3 works really well. It's pretty well priced, but it's not a complicated task, so you probably can get away with any model here. Just see how many credits it uses and use one that is a good price. So I'm going to hit run model here. So that gives us our prompt. Now the final step is that we need to feed that into a video model. And the one that we're going to use here is Seed Dance 2.0, which is the best one available currently, by quite a margin as well. Really, really powerful video model. So we'll drag that in. We drag in our prompt from our run any LLM, which has given us this combined input. Includes our what the character's saying, the description, the actual scene, all in a really nice prompt for the video model. And then we need to grab our product image as well. So I'll grab that again, and I'll use that as a reference image. Now we've got a few configuration settings here on the right. We're going to use the 2.0 model. Aspect ratio, we do need to change this to 9:16. We have set it in our prompt, but we also need to say it here just to make sure things aren't getting overridden. I'm going to tick a fixed camera because I think I prefer that style a little bit more. We are saying, a reasonable amount in the script. So I'm going to change this to 7 seconds. You can kind of adjust this based on how much your character needs to say. And then I'm generating audio here as well. This one's going to cost me 318 credits. So you can just see based on how many inputs you have, how many reference images, that sort of thing, as to how many credits that's going to use. So I'm going to hit run model on this specific node because I don't need to run everything again. Oh, so sorry, that's not going to be 318 credits for this final step, just if I wanted to run everything again. I'm going to hit run model here. Amazing, so now we have our generated video here. That generation can take sort of anywhere from 2 to 6 minutes. With a lot of the video models, it depends on the website traffic and how busy the actual models are, but not too bad. So let's check out the result.
This stuff literally changed my whole vibe. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't go without it.
So really impressive quality. I think it represents that actual product really nicely. It's followed the prompt with the actual character and the cream blazer. I think one thing is probably the holding of the product in front of the camera a little bit too long. So if you wanted to change something with the actual character themselves, you could go back to the character inputs and make changes with their clothing or their hairstyle. And then if you wanted to make some changes to the actual scenery itself, you could come into the system prompt. So this is the front-facing smartphone camera, vertical. So what I did was I just added in a do not block the face in brackets at this section of the prompt. So if I were to regenerate that, I would hope that the product isn't sitting over the face so much. So let's try that again and see if that can make that fix. Firstly, I'll just rerun that model builder. So to get our new prompt that includes that change. Great, so now that we've got our new version, let's check out that. And the change that we made was not holding the product over the face. So let's look.
This stuff literally changed my whole vibe. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't go without it.
So it's definitely listened to us making that change. Just the small brackets in that system prompt has moved the product slightly out of view of her face. So really easy to make other changes throughout. Easy to make changes with the characters, the products, like that. So really, really powerful tool. I'm gonna leave the link to this flow in the description so you can easily go to this one, make changes yourself, copy and paste it into your own sort of workspace so all your changes, are yours. But yeah, great tool, really easy process, check it out.